Hi everyone, I'm Tisha from Tisha Unarmed, and I'm on Small Talk.
Welcome, sweethearts, to another episode of Small Talk. I'm super excited for this episode because, as you guys know, it is Spina Bifida Awareness Month. I have spina bifida. I was born with spina bifida, and with my spina bifida, it's affected a lot of things. My walking, the fact that I can barely use my left foot. I have no feeling in my left foot, and I can't even move my toes. So I have a very special guest here today, Tisha Unarmed, who does everything with her feet.
Hi everyone, this is Tisha Unarmed, and I'm here to answer all your questions about not having arms. And as you can see, I don't have any arms.
Tish, I'm so happy that you're on Small Talk.
I'm happy to be here. This is so exciting. We met at Vid Summit, and you're like, oh my god, I have to meet you. And I'm like, oh my god, you're so cute. Let's do a collaboration video.
And here we are. So this is actually a special edition video because we are at Vid Summit 2018 here in Los Angeles. And where are you from, Tish?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, so I've got lots of traveling to go.
Yeah, you've traveled all the way here from St. Louis to be here for Vid Summit.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a YouTube channel called Tish Unarmed. And tell everybody a little bit about your YouTube channel.
So basically, I have a channel that talks about what it's like not having arms, how I do things, and basically answering the questions that you might have if you were just like see me like down the street and ask like, well, how does she drive? How is she doing that? How does she get dressed in the morning? And people are so scared to come up to me and ask me questions like that. So I want to be able to educate people, say, hey, I'm a person too, and you know, I can be funny and happy, and I'm more than willing to answer all those questions that you have.
Absolutely. And I watched a lot of her videos on her YouTube channel, and she answers a lot of these questions. One of my big questions is, yes, how do you drive?
There's a video on that, so you definitely should watch it.
You told me yesterday, but I was like, I want the videos for now too.
So I use my feet to drive, and I have a left foot accelerator that I use my left foot to use on the pedals, brake, and accelerating, and then I use my right foot to steer, and I've got buttons on the back of the headrest that control the horn, the washer, the turn signals, the heated seat, the air conditioning, anything that I would have to take my foot off the wheel to operate my car, it's on the back of the headrest.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Can you imagine though, like how many people don't use their turn signals?
Yeah, then especially here in LA, people do not use their turn signals at all. So yeah, it's the same thing in St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean exactly. And all I have to do is just like click, 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 on, off. And the best part about it for me is that it'll turn off automatically after a certain amount of time. So I'm not driving down the street for like 10 miles with my turn signals on.
So you've been on YouTube for quite some time, right?
Yeah, 8 years.
8 years, and you have a pretty incredible story about your first YouTube video that you ever made.
Yes, it was. My friends were like, dude, you're like really funny and you're really outgoing. You should make YouTube videos. I'm like, isn't YouTube for like famous people? And they're like, no, there's like cat videos online. I'm like, oh, well, I can make a video then. So like one rainy day, I pulled out my like janky old camcorder on a rickety like tripod, and I set it up in front of the window, and I was like, hey everyone, this is Tisha Unarmed, and I'm here to answer all your questions about not having arms. And as you can see, I don't have any arms. And I was like, this is super cheesy. This is so weird. And so I made the video of me making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I'm thinking no one's gonna watch this. Like within like a day or so, like 5 people watched it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like 5 people. Like my mom watched it 5 times. Great. And within like the next like week and month, like 500 people watched it. I'm like, I don't even know 500 people. What's going on? Who's watching these videos? And I got a call from Tosh.0, and they're like, hey, we want you on the show. And they flew me out to LA, and you know, now I have 131,000 subscribers, and I'm like, why are people still watching?
That was, when you first told me that, it was really amazing, because it's like you said, I just made a peanut butter jelly sandwich, but what I really love about your videos is that you're so confident, you are so very funny, and like you really answer all these people's questions, and we talked yesterday, and it's like, having disability and being different, people come up and approach you, and how would you like people to talk to you?
Just like a normal person. I really respect people who can respect me for like just being a person, and a lot of people ask me if I need help, and I'll say yes or no. I don't want people to treat me like I have a disability. Like, that's like, oh, like, I'm so happy that you're out today. Like, oh, honey, like, you're so cute. Or, I broke my arm last week, and, I was feeling really bad about it, but now I don't because I see you. And I'm like, is that supposed to make me feel better?
No, yeah, I totally feel that. You're very independent. How you set up everything here faster than we were able to set everything.
What are you talking about? I'm trying to get B-roll of you setting up.
Who will get it done first?
Yeah. And like I said, I can't move my left toes. I can barely move my ankle. And for me, it's so amazing the fact that you use your feet to do absolutely everything. When you were a kid, how do you think that you have the confidence that you have?
Definitely, I 100% give all the credit to my confidence to my parents, because they were the ones who told me, one, I'm not going to be here to do everything for you. A bit. Well, that's a tough lesson for a kid to learn at 7. Like, your parents are going to die one day. What? So they really pushed me to be more independent, and they wanted me to learn how to do everything for myself. And they also never treated me differently. They never said, oh, well, Tisha doesn't have arms, she can't do that, we need to help her, or, you're not going to be able to do that when you grow up. So it was really important for me to be nurtured in that environment where I was treated just like everyone else. I had chores just like my brothers and sisters, and, we did everything together and the same, and that really helped when I was pushed out into the world, treating myself like I was not different.
Right, absolutely. So you actually are about to graduate.
Yes, I'm graduating, becoming a graphic designer at the University of Missouri St. Louis, and I'm so excited for that because I wanted a career that didn't necessarily define me and my disability. I wanted to do something that was completely not in my realm of, like, most people become either motivational speakers or they sit at home and mope because they don't have arms. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go and I'm going to create something beautiful for the world to see.
I love that. I have brothers and sisters.
I do. I have 1 brother and 3 sisters, and they were all born completely, I don't want to say normal, but fully functional, yeah. Fully able.
Able-bodied.
Norms.
Did your siblings, normies, did your siblings ever treat you differently?
No, my siblings never treated me differently. In fact, they don't have sympathy or empathy for other people either with disabilities or able-bodied people who complain all the time. My brother, he's a Marine, and if his, employees are, I don't know what he calls them, privates. All the privates are like, oh man, like I hurt myself, I need to go home. He's like, buck her up, Buttercup, get back to work. My sister doesn't have arms, and she does twice as much work as you do. Another thing that my parents taught me is, 1, I'm not always going to be here to do everything for you, and 2, you need your education. You need your education because you're not going to be able to dig ditches. You're not going to be able to, this is like the things that my parents told me I'm not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to work at McDonald's. No one's going to hire you. You use your feet. So they really encouraged me to get my education, go to school, get a degree where I can make tons of money and support them later on in life. So my only focus when I was younger was going to school, getting my education. So, I did my homework. I didn't go to parties. I, didn't, extracurricular activities, even all the way through college. I went to school, I did my work, and, I come home. And when I got to college and I'm sitting in this waiting room and there's like a bowl of condoms, sitting on the table, and I'm like, why do you need condoms? You shouldn't be having sex. You should be doing your homework. What's wrong with these people? But now that this is my senior year, this is my last year of school, I only have one class per semester because I've done a shitload of work to get myself here. Now I'm the president of the AIGA in my class, and I'm doing this entrepreneur program for kids who want to build businesses. And, I've got all these other things that I'm able to do because I've got the extra time to relax and actually enjoy being in college.
Love it. I have a brace that I use on my leg.
Can we see this?
So,
Nice.
this is her prosthetic.
Okay.
And when your right foot is shorter than your left foot,
Mhm.
and that's the opposite of me. My left foot is shorter than my right foot. I watched one of your videos where you talked about the doctors wanted to actually amputate your legs. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. When I was born, they told my mom that I had PFFD. One leg was shorter than the other. When I was 9 months old, I believe, they told her, they're like, hey, her leg's not going to grow properly. We should cut off her foot so that it would be easier to make a prosthetic leg.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom's like, are you nuts? Like, are you crazy? That would be fine if she had arms, but she doesn't have arms, and you're going to cut off the one thing that she has and leave her with one limb? Like, no freaking way. So she's like, no, find a different way. Like, use a different type of prosthetic, build something. And so that's what they did when I was learning how to walk. When I was 3, 4, I was relearning how to walk, and we had a lift on my shoe, which was like 6 inches tall. It was like wearing high heels for a 3-year-old, but that didn't work. But then they developed this specific prosthetic for me where it's kind of like a hybrid. It's not an orthotic, it's not a prosthetic, but it's like that sweet spot in between. And that works perfectly for me, and I'm so grateful that my mom said, no, don't cut off her foot, and listen to her doctors, because...
That is your texting foot. That's your foot you use to text.
That's my foot that I use for every single thing that I do. And, well, if they would have, I don't even know. I would have just died.
Thank God for your mom. She made the right decision.
Yes, she did.
She made the best decision. So you're married.
Yes.
You've been married for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a sweet husband.
Yeah.
She made it, y'all. She got married, okay. So what does your husband do?
My husband is a prostitute, so not what you think. They're like, well, he does what? No, he makes prosthetic legs. So when he was about 8, 9, 10 years ago, he lost his foot, and he decided to go ahead and amputate his leg. And the industry of prosthetics was so overwhelming, and they're like, we're going to make you this type of leg. And he's like, no, I want that type of leg. And they're like, well, we're not going to do that. And he goes, well, fuck you guys. I'm going to go make my own. And he YouTubed it and like Googled, like, he YouTubed it. He Googled like what material you need, and then he bought it, I think, off of Amazon. And like, I come home from school one day, and he's freaking building a leg in our oven. Like, what's that smell? He's like, it's carbon fiber. Should you be burning that in the whatever? He walked to his prosthetist appointment, and he goes, hey, I made this. And then they hired him, and they're like, we need you.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so he makes all my legs
So
now.
he made this one for you, right?
Yes.
And he made you a special one on your wedding day as well.
He did. On our wedding day, he made me a white one, and then we put lace on it, and like all kinds of like little sparkles and jewels, and then we wore Converse, and we bedazzled those, and it was beautiful.
You're also a painter.
Mm-hmm.
I watched some of your painting videos. Really incredible. Did you always have an inclination towards art?
I think when I was in 5th grade, we moved to Jordan, which was a third world country. The way that they run their country there is all the people that have disabilities are put in a home, and no one ever sees them again. So, like, your family might come and visit you, but other than that, like, they don't go out, they don't travel, they stay there. And my parents are like, no, she's not staying there. She's going to go to public school. or I guess I went to a private school at the time, but we had to fight to go to school. So I had to meet the prince of the country and say, yeah, I'm a well-rounded, educated person from America who wants to be educated here in Jordan. And he was like, okay, so he had to actually sign off on it so that the schools would let me in. But that did not mean that they had to actually teach me. So I sat in the back of the classroom, not knowing any Arabic, not really knowing what's going on in the class. No one really talked to me. And so I was like, okay, well, if I'm not being taught, then I'm going to doodle and draw. And that like kicked off, like my dad bought me my first sketchbook and my pencils, and I filled that up. And I came back to America because of the reason that I wasn't being educated. And everyone was like, dude, you're a really good artist. You should try do more of this. So I took art classes, and that just became part of my life and an outlet for me to I guess it was, how do I explain that?
No, you're explaining it perfectly. It's great.
It was a way for me to like focus on something, sit down and paint for like 8 hours a day and not worry about what's going on outside. Like I'm able to just like focus on that.
I love it. What advice would you give to your younger self?
My younger self, I would tell myself, get out there, be more active, talk to people, be more outgoing, because when I was a kid, I was really shy. I didn't really know where I fit in. I didn't try out for cheerleading. I didn't, join any groups in high school. I was by myself, and I felt like, I didn't belong anywhere, and that just really wasn't true, only because like if I did, put myself out there and like make friends, then I probably would have had a more exciting childhood.
I can totally relate on that level too. I feel like when I was growing up, I let my size, make me feel insecure. And now as an adult woman, I've realized that what my insecurity is actually my gift, and it's my beauty, and it's what I can share with the world. So this is my favorite thing I like to do with my guests is they say a message to themselves for 5 years. In 5 years, a future message to your future self, which you would like to say.
Oh, in 5 years, don't get old. Never get old. I know, we all grow old, but it's your spirit on the inside. So I'm forever a young child who likes to go out and do exciting things. And now that I am on the older side and I've become more outgoing and I put myself out there, I'm making up for lost time for when I didn't do it when I was a kid.
That's beautiful. I love that. Never get old and stay young and stay true to you.
Yes.
Right? And where can everybody find you?
You can definitely find me on YouTube at Tisha Unarmed. You can find me on Instagram. I mean, if you type in Tisha Unarmed in Google, you'll find me just about anywhere. And I also have a sister channel with Jessica Cox, which hopefully she'll be on.
Absolutely.
And our sister channel is called Life with Feet. So definitely check that out. We've got content consistently going on there.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Trisha. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
We just talked about this.
The silent R.
It's Tisha, and I've had it right this whole time, except for when the camera's rolling, obviously. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
You're beautiful, and I love you, and we need to do more videos together, because
you're beautiful, and I love you too, and I would love you.